What's up, hair nerds? I'm Richard Kavanagh. Welcome to 7-Minute Seminars, where every week we share with you how to hair like a boss, whether you're a pro, an amateur, or somebody who just likes nice hairs. In this week's episode, we're going to talk all about understanding your hair. We're going to talk about the 4 different types of hair and some of the things that you might need to consider in order to style it effectively, and then understanding, is my hair thick or is my hair fine? So let's kick off with the 4 different types of hair. Different hair types respond differently to different types of product and different types of styling techniques and methods. So you're going to have to consider that before you start styling. The 4 different types of hair can be broadly categorized into Caucasian hair, Asian hair, African hair, and Polynesian hair. Caucasian hair can be anywhere from very coarse to very fine. It can cover the spectrum in color from white, blonde to reds and coppers, browns and blacks, and everything in between. It has the widest variety of all the hair types. And due to the wide variation in its types, it's really important for you to identify your individual hair type before you use any of the tips I'm about to share with you coming up. Asian hair tends to have a smaller range of colors ranging from black to light brown, with some warmth and variation in tone there. Usually it tends to be very straight or with a slight wave, although there are anomalies to that where there is curly Asian hair. And in general, it tends to be shinier than other hair types because the cuticle layer tends to be more closed. As a general rule, if you have Asian hair, you're going to want stronger styling products. You're going to use smaller sections, and a little bit more heat will tend to help you get and keep the results that you're looking for. The next type of hair I want to talk about is African hair. And despite its appearance, it can be very, very fragile and easy to break. The individual hair strands in African hair tend to be very fine, and it doesn't respond well to styling products that are not specifically designed for it. Many styling products have a base of water, and of course, as those of you who are pros know, when you put water on hair, it soaks in and breaks some of the bonds and returns the hair back to its natural form. So if you're styling hair and trying to change its natural form into a new shape, and you put water-based product on it, it will not be very effective. So a hot tip for African hair is to use specific styling products. Use plenty of tension while being gentle and respecting the fragility of the hair, and take care because hot tools can cause breakage, as can too much tension. The next hair type I want to talk about is Polynesian hair. It can look quite similar from a distance to African hair, but it's very, very different. Generally, it's very dense and there's a lot of it, and as a general rule, Polynesian hair has a lot thicker or coarser hair strands. It tends to be very curly. It needs a lot of moisture to keep it soft and shiny and pliable, and it can require more heat, finer sections, and stronger products to get the result you want and to lock it in and hold it tight. So here's the big question. How thick is my hair? Is my hair thick or fine? So there's 2 things you need to think about, right? How dense is your hair? In other words, how many hairs per square inch are there? And how thick or coarse is each individual hair strand? And I'm going to give you a couple of little tests to do there. One way to check how dense your hair is to take a parting at the front, comb the hair flat across your head like that, and look in the mirror. If you can easily see your scalp through your hair, then it's probably not particularly dense. If it's hard to see your scalp or you can't see your scalp at all, then you got a lot of hair and it's probably pretty dense. And then how do you check the thickness of your hair? Well, you know, there's all sorts of micrometers and fancy devices that you can use to measure your hair. And in fact, the singer Lorde, her father, has a machine for measuring hair, and her individual hair strands are 4 times bigger than the average. Strange fact, funny thing I know. However, what you can do is you can take one of your hair strands and you can just kind of feel it. You'll be able to tell whether in comparison to other people's hair it feels or looks like it's thick or thin. Thick or thin? Big or small? One of those things. So that's a general overview of hair types and some hot tips that you can think about to make sure that you're going to get the hair that you want and that you can hair like a boss, whether you're a pro, an amateur, or just someone who really likes your hair to look nice. That was episode 3 of 7-Minute Seminars. I'm Richard Kavanagh. It's been my absolute pleasure to share that with you. Make sure you tune in next week, and if you can think of anyone that would like these, please tell them. See you next week.